The hidden threat, how modern life blinds you to manipulators, and the ancient wisdom you need to see them clearly. Let's begin with a disturbing thought. What if some of the most dangerous people in your life right now don't look dangerous at all? What if they smile at you, praise you, share meals with you, but underneath that surface, they are undermining your energy, your dreams, your very sense of reality? Not with weapons, not with threats, but with manipulation, subtle control, and psychological warfare. And the most terrifying part, you don't even see it because they've made sure of that. This isn't paranoia. This is about waking up. This video is a philosophical exploration of danger, not the obvious, but the hidden. And by the end, you'll see people and yourself differently. You'll be equipped to spot the manipulators, the controllers, the energy leeches hiding in plain sight. Because once you can see them, they lose their power.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more topics you love.
Now, here's the philosophical dilemma. Humans are social creatures, wired for connection. We crave trust, belonging, approval. But this very wiring makes us vulnerable. Vulnerable to people who know how to exploit it. Think about it. How often have you doubted your instincts because you didn't want to make a scene or judge too harshly? How often have you let small manipulations slide because the person seemed nice or meant well? That's how dangerous people operate, not through fear, but through deception. They hide behind social masks, and the more you deny your intuition, the more you feed their power. So let's get real. What is a dangerous person? It's not just the criminal or the abuser. It's anyone who, consciously or unconsciously, distorts reality to control you. That distortion might be small, a guilt trip here, a backhanded compliment there. Or it might be massive gaslighting, isolation, domination. But the pattern is always the same. They twist your perception so that you doubt yourself and rely on them. And here's where the philosophical insight hits hard. Plato's allegory of the cave describes people chained in a cave, mistaking shadows on the wall for reality. Dangerous people are the puppet masters of those shadows. They feed you false narratives, and you live in their version of the world, not yours. Escaping the cave means questioning everything, especially the relationships you've been told are normal or safe. Now, let's go deeper. How do you spot dangerous people? First sign, they disrupt your sense of clarity. After interacting with them, you feel confused, uncertain, drained. Pay attention. That's not random. That's energetic theft. Dangerous people thrive in ambiguity. They blur lines, twist words, shift blame. They don't want you to think clearly, because clear thinking leads to freedom. Their power depends on you being emotionally off balance. So here's the litmus test. After spending time with someone, do you feel more yourself or less? Do you feel empowered or diminished? That's your first clue. Second sign, they create dependence. They offer help, support, advice, but with strings attached. You feel like you owe them. That's not generosity. That's control. Dangerous people love to position themselves as saviors or experts. They feed your doubts, so you keep coming back. It's not about your growth, it's about their influence. And here's the brutal truth. Anyone who needs you to be weak to feel strong is dangerous. Real allies empower you. Fakes own you. Ask yourself, who benefits from my self-doubt? who is invested in me staying small. Let's accelerate. Dangerous people are masters of narrative. They tell stories about you to others, to you, to themselves. Stories that justify their behavior, minimize your achievements, or rewrite your history. Why? Because controlling the narrative is controlling the mind. If they can convince you that they're the victim, that you're ungrateful, that your success is luck, they control your identity. And if they control your identity, they control your life. Philosophy teaches that know thyself is the highest wisdom. Dangerous people want the opposite. They want you confused, so they can write your story for you. Now let's elevate the stakes. The most dangerous people are often not strangers, they're close. Family, friends, partners, and this is where it gets excruciating. Because love, obligation, and loyalty blind us. We tolerate toxicity because they're family, or they've been there for me. But here's the philosophical punch. Blood is not truth. Time is not truth. Truth is truth. Truth, that loyalty to a lie is not virtue. It's slavery. Dangerous people rely on your guilt, your history, your hope that they'll change. But they don't change unless you do, unless you see clearly, act decisively, and break the cycle. Mid-video intensity, let's enter the paradox. Sometimes, the most dangerous person in your life is you. Your own mind, when infected by fear, trauma, or self-hate, becomes a manipulator. You gaslight yourself, downplay your worth, sabotage your growth. Why? Because danger isn't just external. It's internalized. We absorb the voices of the manipulators, the critics, the abusers, and replay them endlessly. You must ask, whose voice is this in my head? Is it mine, or did I inherit it? Philosophically, this is the battle for the self. And winning it means reclaiming your inner truth from the lies you've been fed. Secondary engagement. Let's take this cosmic. Ancient philosophies, Taoism, Stoicism, Buddhism all warn of illusions. Illusions about control, permanence, identity. Dangerous people weaponize these illusions. But they promise certainty, belonging, meaning, but at the cost of your autonomy. The Stoics say, you control only your mind. Dangerous people want to control your mind because that gives them everything. So the solution? Radical clarity. See what is. Not what you wish, not what they say what is. Truth is your armor. Boundaries are your sword. Let's reflect. Who in your life resists your growth? Who mocks your dreams, stokes your fears, undermines your joy? These are not random behaviors. They're tactics. Danger is not about rage, it's about control. Subtle, slow, suffocating control. And your freedom depends on spotting it, then choosing yourself. Not once, but daily. You spot danger by listening to your body, your intuition, your energy. The mind can be fooled, but your soul knows. It feels truth. Trust that. Well, now, the philosophical payoff. Dangerous people are not invincible. They only win if you stay blind. The moment you see them, truly see them, their spell breaks. Awareness is power. Action is freedom. But you must choose it. Choose to see. Choose to act. Choose to live free. How manipulators hijack your mind, and how ruthless self-honesty breaks their grip forever. Let's begin this final stretch with a disturbing but liberating truth. The power of dangerous people is borrowed. They don't possess real power, not over your soul, not over your destiny. They borrow it from you, and through fear, through silence, through your willingness to believe their illusions. And once you stop giving it to them, once you reclaim what's already yours, they collapse. Not instantly, not without resistance, but inevitably, because the lie of control cannot survive the presence of unshakable self-awareness. You want to break free from manipulation, from subtle control, from psychological warfare, from the people who wear masks of love but thrive on your weakness. There is only one path: ruthless self-honesty. The willingness to face the truth, even when it's ugly, especially when it's ugly. Let's explore the anatomy of control, the psychological machinery that dangerous people use to hijack your reality. It always starts with identifying your weaknesses, your fears, your needs, your insecurities. Because control doesn't begin with force. It begins with exploitation. If you crave approval, they give it, then take it away. If you fear abandonment, they offer closeness, then threaten distance. If you doubt your worth, they echo that doubt, feeding it until it becomes your truth. But here's the philosophical insight: weakness is not inherent. It's created, often it's installed. You were not born doubting your worth, you were taught to. And now, the same people or systems that implanted that doubt use it to bind you. That's the cycle of control. And breaking it means not just fighting them, it means reprogramming yourself, deleting the virus of self-doubt they infected you with. Let's get more precise. Dangerous people thrive on inconsistency. They shift between kindness and cruelty, praise and criticism, love and coldness. This unpredictability trains you to focus on them obsessively. You become addicted to their approval, desperate to get back the good side of them. This is classic intermittent reinforcement, and it's used in everything from toxic relationships to gambling addiction. But it works because it confuses you. You stop trusting your own judgment. You think, maybe it's me. That's the point. The manipulator wants you focused on earning their validation, not questioning their behavior. And here's the brutal truth: as long as you're trying to fix them, you're under their spell. Liberation begins when you stop trying to change them and start changing yourself. Now let's step into the realm of projection. Dangerous people often accuse you of what they're doing. They lie and call you dishonest. They manipulate and call you controlling. Why? Because it deflects attention. It scrambles your sense of truth. If you're constantly defending yourself, you can't analyze them. You're stuck in reaction mode. This is philosophical warfare, the destruction of reality. But you can end it by returning to clarity. Ask, what is real? What do I know in my gut, beyond their words? When you stop arguing with their illusion and trust your soul's knowing, the fog lifts. And in that clarity, their power dies. Let's bring this into everyday life, the workplace, relationships, family. Look at the dynamics. Who gains from your confusion? Who wins when you doubt yourself? Who benefits from your silence? These are the ones to watch. Dangerous people don't always act with malice. Some are unconscious. But unconscious harm is still harm. It still drains you, and you are under no obligation to tolerate it. Philosophically, you owe yourself truth. You owe yourself peace. And anyone who consistently disrupts that, no matter how charming, how familiar, how important, is dangerous. Here's where the challenge becomes personal. You must confront not just them, but you, your patterns, your complicity, the parts of you that accepted manipulation because it was easier than facing the pain of loss, conflict, or change. That's the hard truth, but it's also the key. Because when you own your role, you reclaim your power. You shift from victim to creator. Dangerous people are not your fate. They are your mirror. They reflect the boundaries you have yet to set, the truths you have yet to claim. And when you stop running, when you face that reflection and say, "No more," the game ends. You win, not because you beat them, but because you transcended them. Let's get metaphysical. In every moment, you have a choice to live from fear or to live from truth. Dangerous people are architects of fear. They whisper, "You can't make it without me. You're not enough. The world is unsafe." But truth whispers louder if you listen. Truth says, "You are free. You are capable. You are sovereign." And every time you choose truth over fear, your reality changes, not slowly, immediately. That's the power of the awakened mind. You don't need to fight them. You outgrow them. You outshine them. You become so rooted in self-awareness, so aligned with your inner truth, that manipulation no longer finds a home. Let's ground this with a story. A woman spent years in a toxic friendship, but subtle put-downs, backhanded praise, manipulation disguised as love. One day she asked herself a question that shattered the illusion: if I met this person today, would I choose them? The answer was no, and in that moment she realized she'd stayed out of habit, not truth. She walked away. It wasn't easy, but it was freedom. That question, "Would I choose this now?" is the ultimate test of truth. Apply it to every relationship, every commitment, every belief. If the answer is no, it's time to change. Now let's land the final insight. Dangerous people win through compliance, silence, fear. But you are not here to comply. You are here to awaken, to see clearly, to act boldly, to live truth. This is not about paranoia. It's about discernment. It's about realizing that not everyone deserves your energy, your loyalty, your presence. Philosophy teaches that the examined life is the only life worth living. Let me add, the protected mind is the only mind worth trusting. Protect your mind. Guard your energy. Live in truth, no matter the cost. Because the cost of living a lie is everything. You're surrounded by dangerous people. Now you see them. Now you act. Now you are free.